Hey RC fans, welcome to the RC Retro channel. In this episode I have something really special. A brand new built, never ran LOSI JrxT. That's right, this has been sitting untouched for decades. It's a true time capsule from the golden age of RC. Now the original owner actually took this apart just to ship it to me. So when I opened the box, it looked kind of like a new vintage RC kit all over again. It's a little dirty from years of shelf time, and some of the oil has leaked out of the shocks, which has made it a little bit of a mess. But that's nothing a good clean and rebuild can't fix. As a matter of fact, you can see that I already started giving this a cleaning. And check this out, it even came with the original unpainted body shell and factory decals. I can't wait to show you all how this one turned out. So in this episode, I'm going to give the JrxT a little cleanup, rebuild it, and then reveal to all of you this awesome painted body, which is right here in the box. And that was painted by my buddy Chris, who documented the whole process through pictures, and you'll see that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the decals, which, to be honest, left me a little puzzled. But before we dive into all of that, let's take a moment to appreciate why the LOSI JrxT is such an important piece of RC history. So, the JrxT was LOSI's first stadium truck, and when it hit the scene back in 1989, it was an instant game changer. As a matter of fact, it was the first stadium truck kit offered. You see, up until this point, people were taking their two-wheel drive buggies and converting them to stadium trucks or monster trucks with third-party conversion kits. So the fact that they offered everything in one box was definitely a game changer, and this was also packed with some serious racing DNA. You see, the JrxT borrowed a lot from the legendary JRX2 buggy platform, but it had a longer wheelbase, and it also included the innovative 5-link rear suspension, which gave it incredible traction and handling for its time. It had a lightweight composite chassis, fully adjustable oil shocks, the LRM transmission, and ball bearings throughout, which are features that made it stand out in an era where most trucks were still pretty basic. LOSI definitely designed it to be tough, tunable, and track ready right out of the box once you put it together. So stick around as we bring this LOSI JrxT back to life, talk about this awesome body, and then discuss the impact the JrxT had on the RC industry. So let's get right into it. check this out. Just take a look at this truck. The LOSI JrxT is all back together and looks absolutely amazing. You know, after rebuilding this and seeing this beautifully painted box art body, I totally understand why this truck had such a huge impact in the world of RC back in the day. It has such a simplistic design and yet the perfect mix of RC engineering. However, there are two things that I'd like to point out from my rebuild or my restoration. And the first being that everything on here appears to look like it's in mint condition with the exception of the ball cups. Whoever the original owner was when assembling the turnbuckles probably used pliers when putting them on and really chewed them up badly. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Also, I see that this truck has a square cut out in the front of the chassis by the steering. I'm not quite sure what that's all about because as I watch other people's videos on YouTube or even examine pictures online, I notice that some come with a cutout and some did not come with a cutout. So again, if you know, please drop me a comment and share your knowledge with me, as that would be greatly appreciated. But perhaps it has something to do with maybe later models coming with a different chassis, but again, I'm not quite sure. Now, as for the body, it's very simple with clean lines. As far as the paint scheme, one of the best out there. The yellow, the orange, the red, and the white just go so well together. The paint scheme on here is not overly loud, it's not overly busy, it's more on the simple side, but yet so hard to pull off because you have these white pinstripes between all the colors. Everything has to line up perfectly, and to get super clean, crisp lines where you have so many straight lines on here is super hard. So with that being said, I got to give a huge shout out to my friend Chris for painting this up. He did a phenomenal job. As you could see, he used a mix of tape and liquid mask to pull this off, and I could not be happier with how the paint turned out on here. Also, I'd like to point out that I am missing the Lexan side panels that you would paint black and attach directly to the chassis. This came with the kit back in the day, however my kit did not include those. Maybe the original owner pulled those out and used them for another JrxT. But the number plates and the spoiler were included because they come molded into the original body mold. So you just cut those out directly from there. Now here is a shot of the body with the spoiler on it. So what do you guys think? Should I add it on? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. To be honest, I actually kind of like it. So before we wrap up this video, let's talk decals because this is where there's some confusion for me. You see, this is the original decal sheet that came with my JrxT. And I have since confirmed that this is the actual decal sheet that came with the kit back in the day because Keith from RC Icons just got a new unboxed JrxT and on his channel did an unboxing and pulled out the exact same decal sheet. So where the confusion is for me is that the JrxT logo for the side of the truck doesn't seem to match with what I've seen in photos online, the box art, or even the reproduction sticker sets you find online. The size and the proportions of the originals just look a little off, kind of small, but I could assure you that this is the original decal sheet that came with the kit. Also, I'm not sure if I used the correct size Naturals decal right here in the front. They gave you two sizes, and this one looks a little too big, and the other one looks a little too small. What do you guys think? Finally, there are a few classic decals that are missing entirely from the decal sheet, like the Primetime and the Ranch Pit Shop decal, also those white Team LOSI Performance decals that go on the side of the truck, and of course the number 1 that goes on the side plates, which are featured in the box art, but don't come with the sticker sheet. And I guess it's one of those little mysteries that makes collecting vintage RCs so much fun and yet frustrating at times. But what I can tell you is I went ahead and ordered reproduction decals from MCI Racing. They are on their way, just haven't arrived yet as I'm shooting this video. But once I get them, I'll get all those missing decals put on and I will give you all an update on my YouTube channel, my Facebook group, and on Instagram. Regardless, no matter what decals it had on the the JrxT had a huge impact in the world of RC racing. When it dropped, it didn't just perform, it redefined what a stadium truck could be. It dominated the racing scene for years, setting the standard for performance and innovation. And because it was available as a complete, easy-to-build kit, it opened the door for a whole new wave of RC hobbyists. This truck helped fuel the explosion of RC stadium truck racing and bring so many new people into the hobby, people who are still part of the RC community today. So whether you're a collector, a racer, or even just someone who appreciates RC history, it's impossible not to respect what the JrxT means to the world of RC. So that's pretty much it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into RC history. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and for those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much for your support, and I'll check you guys all on my next. Take care.